Burn the tab up on the side. Talk stock, stayed in secrecy. While she slide her hand on my thigh. Headlines in her history. Whisper like a quiet threat. She say, money built these ministries. They ain't cash your freedom yet. We sip slow, playing quick. Every kiss got a side script. Every laugh got a side eye. She say you down, I say I might be, yeah. If this hit your lane, slide with us. Lean in close, keep it hush. Paper in the back, truth in the front seat. Body on beat, mind on trust. If this hit your lane, slide with us. Talk that code in a lover's touch. Say you want change and you want it to feel good. Hit the hey, slide with us. Shorty got a spreadsheet, color-coded alibis. She can flip a budget, flip a vote. Barely even blink her eyes. Bass humming through the chassis. While she break down policy, she say, power just a password. They don't think we got the key. We sync up, same glitch. Every kiss got a side switch. Every joke got a data trail. She say we lit, I say we been lit. If this hit your lane, slide with us. Lean in close, keep it hush. Paper in the back, truth in the front seat. Body on beat, mind on trust. If this hit your lane, slide with us. Talk that code in a lover's touch. Say you want change and you want it to feel good. Like subscribe, drop a comment, hit the. She run game, a sundress, ballroom brain, late rain. Yeah. Talking routes to the loopholes, talking love as an accent. We two tabs in the same night, two hacks in the same plan. If they trace where the waves start, all they gon' see is two hands. If this hit your lane, slide with us. Lean in close, keep it hush. Paper in the back, truth in the front seat. Body on beat, mind on trust. If this hit your lane, slide with us. Talk that code in a lover's touch. Say you want change and you want it to feel good. Like subscribe, drop a comment, hit the slide.
Hey y'all, thanks for coming to our Daily Drip Show. I am your co-host, Jim Jones, coming through to give y'all a little bit of that daily late night drip. Before I get too heavy into this, make sure y'all hit that like button. It's free, don't cost you nothing. Very, very much appreciated. And with me is my co-host, Plain Dane.
What up, what up, what up? Happy Friday, everybody. Your man's Plain Dane.
And we got the producer with us too, Cassius Pay. So
what's going on?
Y'all are wondering, why are you here, right? So I'm Jim Jones. I am someone who has over a decade in the tech industry to give you all a little bit of that drip along with the female perspective. Along with me is Plain Dane as he introduced himself. Plain Dane, why are you here? Why should the people listen to you? Who do you think you are?
It's y'all prerogative if you want to listen to me or not, but I'm bringing you 100 years of
bullshit. Just go ahead and be for real, please.
Hey, calm down. I say that because I am the fossil of the crew. I'm slightly older. Dealing with risk. I work in risk aversion, as I like to call it, or other people may call it insurance. Been doing that for a while. Also have a background in education, teaching our babies. So I've been around a few corners. Learned a few things, got a few grays. Been growing up a little bit around here and forever the internal student. So I'm learning from you all. Hopefully you learn a few things from me.
Very
Now,
much
Cassius
appreciate
K, what do you bring to the table? Bastard.
I bring leadership and production, of course. So I try to just be in the background, do what I do, but usually I talk about this cash. Mainly probably silver if you're nasty. That's my thing. But otherwise than that, I talk about organizational study, process improvement. Those are my areas. I've been doing that for about 20 years. I started early. And so I come in with it.
He gonna say he started early. We started early with the BS up in here. All right, y'all. Very much appreciate y'all. We cover a variety of different types of areas, political news, a little bit of media, but sprinkled in with a slightly different perspective, but more of the middle feeling, a little bit of the conservative in there, a little bit of liberal stuff thrown in there, but we really try to be in the middle and give just an overall perspective if we can. Well, at least me, I can speak for myself. But that's what we coming through with our backgrounds, bringing that to the table. Shout out to, was it Jordan? Try to make sure I see what.
Hey, Jordan.
Shout out to Jordan. Thanks for dripping with us tonight. Make sure y'all drop some drip in the comments. This is an active conversation. It's not one way, it's two way. We want to make sure we engage with y'all. Also, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't cost you nothing. Hit the like button, subscribe button, and let's go ahead and get into our first topic, y'all. So, immigration. If immigrants are building more generational wealth and working more jobs, let's just be real here. Why did a level of economic anxiety still drive more voters to vote towards President Trump? Anybody thinking about, I mean, look, there's a lot of, would say maybe biased reasons people could, but let's take a look at a situation where maybe we just look at this from a different lens. I want y'all to just, as you look at this video, I think we're going to take it a different way than you expect us to. So go ahead, pull y'all up a drink, because what's in your cup? I got some little bit of that sparkling water in my cup. Make sure y'all put some in your cup and drop some drip in the comments. Let us know what's in your cup. Let's go, y'all.
United States and also the immigration approach by this government. Let's bring in former Treasury official and Morning Joe economic analyst Steve Ratner. Steve, what are we seeing as the immigration numbers go down?
Good morning, Mika. Well, look, the immigration fight is obviously not over. You're going to probably have the Department of Homeland Security shut down this weekend because the two sides can't agree on rules of the road going forward. But yes, it is very important to put the immigration thing in perspective and what the impact of immigration has been on in this country for a very long time. So to start with a long bit of history, if you go all the way back to the 1850s, as many people know, toward the end of the 19th century, we had a big wave of immigration.
So before we go further, I want y'all to look at this chart. And as we continue, I'm going to end up fast forwarding a little bit so we're not taking all their content. But his chart is going to show us the immigration and how it's moved throughout the years. The point of this is very important because America has always had a lot of people who immigrated to America. It's not like that's something new. More specifically, there were immigration situations where people would be an indentured servant, right? Like we'd have people come to America for that. They came for a specific job, and in due time from doing a job, they end up being a citizen here. Probably more so towards this chart area that he's talking about now. As time went on, you did not have to have like a specific contractual purpose like that to be here. Like there's asylum and stuff like that. I would have been surprised, back then if the grand share was the same way as it is now, I guess you could say. The point of this one is not necessarily, look, y'all, immigrants came here historically. The point of this is let's talk about how this chart here influences the future. So he talks about that and the growth, and then he's going to get into economics. More specifically, historically, all these people came over here who immigrated from here, right? They have kids, and their kids have kids. what happened to the economy and where does the money go once that happens? Y'all got anything to add before I hit play?
I'll let it rock out. So go ahead.
Okay.
Let's talk about the role of immigrants in the nation's economy. They obviously constitute a significant portion of the labor force. Probably many of you would guess that they could be as high as 54% of the farm labor force. But did you know they were 40% of home health aides? They were 30% of 30% of construction workers. And perhaps most remarkably, they are over a quarter, 27% of our doctors are born somewhere else. So imagine if we did not have immigration.
Okay. So let's pause that there. I'm gonna take this off. This is not their kids. This is people who are considered foreign-born people in the United States. What do they do for as far as the percentage is concerned? I'm actually surprised at the home health aides, to be honest with you. I did not know that. And physicians and surgeons. Now, like, let's look at how much money people make. Farms, especially if you own your own farm, you can get to the bag, right? Home health aides, I mean, it just depends on like what kind of home health aid type of stuff they're lumping this in. I mean, they're lumping in.
When you say farms, you're kind of conflating farms versus farm laborers.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a different.
And I don't know that if they paired them. Well, I guess he did say specifically farm labor. Okay, so farm laborers, right? 54%. I don't think anybody's surprised at that. Like I said, I was surprised at the home health aides and then the physicians and surgeons. I'm not super surprised. I think I'm surprised that it's as high. But if you think about it and you go on your directory of your health insurance and look up a specialty, usually somebody is like a foreign, like it's more often than not. And I never really thought about it until I saw this. But keep this in mind. Where is the money going? And this is a big point of why some people voted for Donald Trump. Y'all got anything to add before I get to this other point? We get to this last piece.
I mean, I was looking at this and it's kind of an interesting discussion because I see where he's leaning. I see where it's going, but they're highlighting immigration and the importance of it, but we're going to always have immigrants here. I mean, this is where a lot of jobs are. I don't see people being deported as an issue. You know what I mean? I feel like that's where we're going because I feel like
he's saying that this is going to be lost.
I don't even want to say Phil. I don't even say Phil because 3 million people were deported before and it wasn't too many jobs affected. I would love to hear his conversation when it comes to inflation because I feel like that's where his concern here is exactly what you said. He's saying like if you were to say, oh, we don't want anybody to be immigrant, for people who come here to stop immigration or reduce it dramatically. These are the highest impacted areas you would see, impacts to the actual economy. That's where he's getting at. But let's go to this next part. So he's gonna start talking about foreign-born versus U.S. citizens
in business. If you look at what we call unicorns, companies worth over $1 billion, so these young, fast-growing tech companies mostly, you can see 44% of them were started by people who were born somewhere else. Where did they come from? Interestingly, the largest share came from India, followed by Israel, Canada, the UK. China was actually somewhat of a less contributor.
So let's pause this. Drop some drip in the comments. Did you know this? I actually did not know this. I did not know, that was going to be the case here. But if you think about it and who's the leaders and running a lot of the businesses, this actually aligns pretty doggone well. Like almost right up under your nose in some ways.
Well, yeah. I mean, like when you say, founders of several businesses, it just goes back to some of the, I would say, entrepreneurial spirit of some of these countries, but also it'll be support that certain people get from countries. Everyone knows Israel and the U.S. There's familial ties, and then there's also business ties that are part of that, where funding would be provided and everything else. Canada, that's just a given. But
because so close.
Yeah.
People. I am surprised at India.
I'm not surprised at India.
I'm not surprised because physicians,
Yes.
It's so many businesses. I talk to so many Indian CEOs like on a regular basis. At least I'm speaking to at least 10 to 15 a week, because they come over, they get into a lot of high positions, and some of them pretty much feel like, hey, you guys are not going to control my destiny. So a lot of them don't mind getting together and starting a business at all, from what I've been seeing.
Right.
Okay, so let's keep it going. Now, remember, founders 56 for U.S. born. Keep this in mind.
To immigration success in this area. And it's also true that if you look at the Fortune 500 companies, also about 45% of the CEOs of Fortune 500 companies were either born here or their parents were born here.
So, Steve, immigrants also contribute to society in a number of ways, some that are hard to specify, but you've got some actual real numbers too.
Yeah. So let's first talk about crime. And obviously, there's been a lot of talk from the Trump administration about how these are all criminals and so on and so forth. We know that only 14% of those who've been arrested by ICE actually have violent criminal records.
So before he goes, because I gotta stop it so and make sure we don't get, any kind of flag. But so look at these charts, right? U.S. born citizens are killing it as far as, no pun intended, on the different categories of crimes. I said it, I was like,
all right, go ahead.
Secondly, are going to be legal immigrants. And then finally is undocumented immigrants, which is interesting because when we talk about voters, that was really honed in for our Trump supporters, is that we have all these people who are not supposed to be here committing all these crimes. But if you look at this chart, that ain't really telling that story. But to me, it actually makes sense why their numbers are not as high. He'll get to that too.
But let's just broaden this out and look at the crime rate per 100,000 population. So if you look at violent crimes, U.S.-born citizens are here, legal immigrants are here, and undocumented immigrants are down here. So they commit crimes at a lower rate than native-born Americans. The same is true of property crimes. The same is true of drug violations. One reason for this is probably pretty obvious. If you don't want to get deported, the best way to not get deported is to not commit a crime.
Yep.
And so you can see that as they come here, they are very law-abiding. They also contribute economically. This is the pay.
So this is where it gets cute. So remember I talked about why people said, I can't believe people voted for President Trump. This is crazy. And people are like, well, the immigrants are taking our jobs. They're like, well, no, they're not taking our jobs, because that chart you just showed said that 54% of them are farm laborers. What are you gonna go out there and do it? And everybody's like, no. Cool. So what you tripping about? Well, this chart right here.
We got a comment that's in tow with this. So
I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, y'all. I can't see.
We had Healing Tofu. One said immigrants should at least have squatters' rights.
Well, technically, ain't that technically true?
Yeah.
In some ways, though, like in some ways, it was.
Yeah.
Well,
we can unpack it later, but let's get.
Yeah, I mean, technically, everybody do in some ways if you have a medical issue.
And then the next
when they land,
our man Joe over here. What up, Joe? Most Americans aren't mad about immigration; they're mad about illegal immigration. What are these same numbers for illegal immigrants?
That's what they mean by undocumented.
Yeah, that's undocumented.
Joe. So when he says, I'm sorry, I should have said that. When he says undocumented, that equals illegal. Because those are people who don't have paper. The other one, like the middle chart, that blue part was legal immigrants. And this was U.S. citizens in the yellow. So illegal immigrants would be the green, aka undocumented immigrants. So that's why he referenced that. Sorry, I should have said that, y'all. So let's look at this chart. He's going to take a different tone to this. Maybe I should just let him rock. But I want y'all to look at this. We got immigrants. So that's the people who came over here, right? Seeking a better life. Natives is going to be people who were here already, like AKA citizens or people who are just, so forth. And then the children of people who were born somewhere not in the U.S. is up here. This is money. How much annual income? So we're going to let him rock, and then I'm going to put my 2 piece on there, and then y'all let me know what y'all
of native-born Americans by age group, 20 all the way up to 80. And you can see that first-generation immigrants do earn a bit less than the average American citizen. But by the time you get to children of immigrants, they actually earn more. So they are, in fact, contributing more to the federal government than they are getting back in services. So they are a positive.
Do y'all hear what he just said with that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the age-old story of any immigrant class that comes in. I mean, it's back to Ellis Island. Hey, my daddy sacrificed, told me that I need to be a doctor, lawyer, or what's the other one? Doctor, lawyer, engineer, because or own my own business because they've sacrificed X, Y, Z. You know, and that's
culture.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the culture.
But what he just did, hold on, this is where he just spun that. He said these folks between 40 and essentially 60 are paying more into the federal government. That's what he just spun that on. Not the fact that if you're a native, right? Let's say you in this category, you don't get to go up here. Does that make sense? Because there is no propelling of children of native on that. If they were to do that, they probably would still be a similar line, is all that I'm getting at. And if you look at this, if I'm a US citizen, and this is where I'm gonna go with that. Like some people, when they look at this, they say, why would I want to give a group's children essentially a power boost opportunity? Think about it. Look at this. Their parents at 40. So that's probably around the time they go into college. Parents make about 50,000. You're sending your kid to school making about 60,000. When your kid gets out of school, they're still making about that 60,000, right? They're going to go in the same line as you, but not these folks. These folks come here for a better life, and their kids will do better than your children. That is why some of those people say, I want to vote for President Trump, because long term, like their kids are getting potentially a leg up somewhere versus if they were, let's say they didn't come here, this wouldn't be their trajectory. I hope that makes sense to folks. Well, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying when you look at that.
That's what the trajectory to me says. Like
it
could. Like I'm not of the excuses ilk. So for me, it's more, my mother was one of those, look, you need to do what it plain name no. My mother. You better get up there and go do what you gotta do. I did X, so you are expected to do Y.
Absolutely. But why would I pour into that? That's what
I was about to say.
If you wasn't here, right, and these kids here, they would be here. But because you were here, they're there. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're reminded on a constant basis.
Correct.
Look what your grandfather went through and sacrificed for me to be where I am. It's that push and pull method within that culture. We're gonna make sure that we push and propel and set expectations.
But I'll play devil's advocate on a piece of this, right? Because immigration really does expand the labor supply. So that actually means that multiple studies have found that, especially native low skilled wages, they definitely take a hit because
we're gonna get to the jobless boom in a bit.
Exactly.
That's on the agenda.
Yeah. But it's usually about 12% with low skilled labor jobs. I used to, like, people wasn't sitting outside of Home Depot, but you knew somebody that was a handyman. Call your boy Baldy, call your boy Sha, and they'll come over there and make sure that the plumbing's straight or knock down the wall or something. Give me $60 and 440 ounces. We good. That kind of thing.
I got a pretty decent handyman now of that ilk that we speaking of. I mean, it just is what it is, And then you have to understand too, you're talking about immigrants that come from a different country where you know, you worked with your hands. You learned as a young man how to fix and do things. The average American, they, you know,
That is very true. It's a
Americana.
lost form.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Americana over here, baby.
Change their own damn tire. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Right.
We both need to
That's
call AAA.
Right.
Ass.
They don't even shop no more. You know what I mean? Like, they don't even shop no more. So it's like, it's just it's a different, culturally it's way different. You got people like they look at us like we're scum. We're gonna show them. It's that competitive edge. Because you already feeling like we're here, but we about to show y'all where we can go. And that's the thought process. We don't think like that. Once we get indoctrinated to just what America has to offer, everybody want to either pretend like they're successful or act like they're successful. And very few really, really, truly compete. So,
and this graph reflects exactly what you said. We'll get to the boom session too in a bit. But yeah, so all I wanted to point out is that sometimes people say, like, I don't understand how people could but if you look at this, and like y'all said, for example, either A, I don't want to compete, or B, why should I give you, because it's my vote, right? Give you a chance to be at 70, for your kids to be at 70,000.
Yeah, and I feel
why?
that too.
Why
like,
should I?
You know,
because
like,
I put in my
feel
people went to Vietnam. My people went and worked in the coal mines. My people went and did XYZ. And y'all didn't put in that. Like that's how some people think about that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, this whole thing is like an immigration massage parlor right now. They just talking about how great it is, but that's not. This is that's what it is. Look at this chart. Ooh, immigration was great in the 1870s, and look at my next chart. That conversation didn't happen 3 million immigrants ago that got deported. Now we're
what I can say is that the border crisis testimony, especially the Congress, estimates that illegal immigration costs taxpayers around $150 billion a year, or nearly $1,000 per taxpayer, which is high as shit. After taxes paid by illegal immigrants, they're saying that is netted out, but we know that we wouldn't be in this space if it was that. So
especially when you get rid of 3 million and then you bring in 10 million.
So, you know, like, so you can, yes, immigration can grow the pie, but we've decided that the first slice goes to Wall Street. And I'm pretty sure Jim Jones will get into that. So the first slice of the pie goes to Wall Street, and the last slice goes to working class Americans. So it's a pit against two teams, but the teams are playing two different games. So, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go out of order because I meant to put them closer, but I didn't. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the boom session then. As we talk about money, right? Everybody's like, we're making money. Meanwhile, everybody at the house looking like this. This is how everybody looking. Everybody at the house looking like this. This is a real situation for a lot of people. Well,
somebody looking at the damn phone bill and the light bill and picking between the two.
Putting
$10
on both.
Damn.
Putting $10 on both. And don't even get me started on the
let me get $2 on pump 3. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Let me get $2 on pump 3.
So boom session. So basically, Americans don't feel like they're reaping the benefits of the economy. That's on paper.
Can you zoom it in some? Thank you.
Okay. So, because I'm going to go to a video in a second, but the stock markets are doing well. They keep talking about, oh, we made so much money this year. All these big businesses, right? Well, it's not really hitting the people. It's not hitting the people. You can make money, right? They have layoffs and stuff like that. That means those people are not going to put that money back in there. So the boom session theory is how they're going to explain why the data from a growth perspective does not kind of align. So let me go to this video because that would make it a little bit easier for everybody. Drop some drip in the comments. So y'all calling cap on the reportings, or y'all believe that in fact just people ain't going out there and getting to the bag? Let us know.
So for the last couple of months, I've been discussing the concept of jobless prosperity. Okay, I know it sounds counterintuitive, but I think in many ways it's accurately described.
So we're not gonna do too much because Fox will definitely flag you. But let's look at this chart real quick. So this is since 1980.
Did you say jobless prosperity?
Yes, that's all he's talking.
I have to, yeah.
That's what that man.
I haven't
just
seen
said,
this
yes.
one in the show notes, so yeah.
This
Jobless prosperity.
That's what he's calling it. But it's basically the same as the boom session. Okay, so it's basically the same thing. So this chart,
there you go, looking like a Van Gogh painting because my mind just melted.
this chart shows 1980.
How you
right?
put both of them together? Jobless dash. That's like having two last names.
Right.
It will be jobless prosperity if you're the business corporation.
Hey,
Yeah,
man, we dead living. We dead living.
Like, and this I think that's accurate, right? Like, think of it this way: if I lay off people, I'll pay benefits. I can regain cash. I can regain equity, right? Depending on what it is. That then goes back into my business, right? Those people, they gone, but I'm still able to show the shareholders, y'all count on me, baby. We're gonna make this money shake. So I'm making money. But you, my friend, thanks for everything you've done. Get your stuff out of here. We out of here. Get that box and go. So I think
what you're really describing is, say for instance, when somebody says they have such and such, maybe I got $1 billion in assets or whatever. Then that means that the asset is you. The asset is you, is banking you, right? And when the layoff happens, they're recouping the asset that had money stored, essentially. So if I don't have to pay that salary and the benefits, and people get RSUs, and I get to strip those back too, you know, if I'm grimy like that, then that's what I get to put on my books.
Yes. Allow your pockets to go through an abstinent pregnancy.
Through jobless prosperity. So if you look at the different recessions that's happened, right now, we in there. Okay? We in there. Great financial crisis. We trending towards that. That's why this boom session is wild. But if you think about it, drop the drip in the comments. Y'all disagree with that?
I'm not
I
can see that we're below that line.
Pretty doggone close.
I think I might be seeing funny, but I think that we're actually below.
We're below the great financial crisis.
Yes.
But like almost at the same as 1980. We're below. This is 82 maybe. That might be 82.
People are Kelly and me around here telling
90, 2000s. Look, the 2000s right here.
Urination. I'm just saying.
And then this is the 2008 crisis right here. And we had a dip. This is that Rona right here. And then this was about 2022, maybe. That's what it looks like. We right where 2022 is at.
Let's go to work and grind and put on this disease condom.
996, let's go. 996, yo. So where am I getting at with this? I bring this up from a tech perspective because everybody talks about AI is taking over. Okay, AI is taking over. But what we just saw is who's actually making the money. Y'all do with that as you will. But I just showed you whose kids is making the money. And somebody making money. And that would be people who own stuff, right? You ain't gonna lay yourself off. Make it make sense. On the tech front of that.
Yep, Joe, you are correct. I agree with you on this. I'm pulling this up.
I don't think we're done.
There's money to be made down in down markets, but they don't teach people about it. Yes, most of your millionaires, your new millionaires, are usually made in down markets. So we definitely agree with you on that.
Oh,
that's when the cream rise to the top. When it get bad.
Yeah. So, but going back to that original thought that we had before in the last one about immigrants making to get into the bag, I also wonder. This might be a good thing to look at. It just came to me. How many of those children of immigrants immigrated here around 2000 and 2000s? Because that was a down market, right? 2008
Housing bubble. Oop.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that one was like also supplanted by bailout, which I don't agree with. Sometimes you need to let companies die so that new companies can form from the ashes and not make the same mistakes. What we're talking about is selective socialism at that point, but it's towards capitalistic interests. So, back in the day, you say how capitalism works is that Sears goes and dies, and Kmart dies, and if she dies, she dies. That kind of thing.
Yeah, and that was a complaint too when that happened.
Exactly. You learn from those mistakes, you move on.
Let it burn.
Capitalism and letting something burn, you say? You don't say.
STDs.
Let's talk. Let's talk about what just happened. Supreme Court ruled against the tariffs, y'all. And y'all know Donnie was not happy. We'll get to Donnie and how he was like, oh, okay, I got y'all. We'll get to that in a minute. But let's go ahead and let it rock.
Outside the Supreme Court, where the justices have just struck down President Donald Trump's far-reaching global tariffs, handing him a significant defeat on an issue that is central to his economic agenda. The justices voted 6-3 in ruling that an emergency powers law that does not, in fact, use the word tariffs does not give Trump the authority to impose tariffs, including reciprocal tariffs he imposed on nearly every country.
So, drop the drip in the comments before we go further. Do you think that they got this right? Do you think that he should have those powers? So what I just heard is that the Supreme Court said, nah, bro, you can't go in and be like, I'm finna do this. They said, no, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that.
In the majority were Chief Justice John Roberts, as well as two justices that Trump himself appointed in his first term, Justices Neil Gorsuch and Amy Coney Barrett.
Wow.
The court's three liberal justices were also part of the majority. The court did not address how or whether any of the money collected so far, which is roughly $130 billion, according to federal data through December.
Drop some drip in the comments. Did y'all know it was $130 billion collected from the tariffs? That's a lot of money.
I almost feel like it's more.
Really?
I mean, he had that one month where he brought in like a soft 30.
Okay. It hasn't been that long though.
I mean, when they reported that was what? That was like roughly about March or April last year. We talked about that on the show, actually.
Was it 30 billion at that point? Okay. We'll continue. Like I don't remember how much it was.
It was 20s. It was near 30. By the way, like if that consistently went on, you know what I mean? Like
then it should be up to like 300 billion, something like that.
Yeah,
or they stop doing as much business, or they stop doing business with us, which is what other countries said that they were going to do, is work with Canada, work with other countries, and stop doing as much shipment through the U.S. So, and also people have bought less stuff. Like,
because stuff costs more.
Things cost more, but people are also buying less. So it might. All right, we'll continue.
Whether any of that would have to be refunded, and if so, how? This is the first of Trump's second-term agenda to reach the Supreme Court in a full review, and it was a significant defeat that the justices handed.
Drop some drip in the comments. Do y'all consider it a defeat? Did you expect this to happen? Do you think that he should have the authority to impose tariffs if he feels like that is in the best interest of the country? To me, my concern on the tech side is just that how we tracking all this money, and how y'all don't know what we gonna do with it? Like, wasn't that the point of having Doge and everything else? They didn't set up an infrastructure. I'm trying to make it make sense. Like, what's going on here with that? We should already have an answer to that. Is where I'm at with that. But go ahead.
Well, Doge was supposed to be designed to refine and find access.
Waste and fraud.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought they were making process improvements too.
No.
They didn't do anything.
It was not designed for that. Government and process improvement are not synonymous. But
Doge was just a big magnifying glass. That's all it was. It just really, I feel like Doge was just put in place to really bring forth some sort of transparency. At least that's the way it was spoke of.
It was supposed to be. Yeah.
It was supposed to be more of a, hey, America, look at how your money's being spent. And, you know, it was retaliatory.
Let me get everybody's social security number.
And put it in my database.
And Doge was retaliatory, but at the same time, that's what it was supposed to. It was supposed to wake people up to where our money was going, to make you feel better about him basically saying, F this, I'm gonna do what I want to do because look what they've been doing to y'all type deal. And it kind of went left.
Kind of. I mean, it seems like a lot of these policies have been ill-fated, right? And the core of this America First argument is that some higher consumer prices are supposed to be worth it because it preserves, or was supposed to preserve, critical industries like domestic supply chains that leverage against hostile regimes like China, for example. But I mean, we're finding that the latter is happening, and so that's why all these other groups. Now, if it was a full win, everybody was feeling it. You wouldn't be getting pushback. It was like, oh, you're gonna win so much. It's gonna be so much winning. You're not gonna know how to win.
Yeah.
You're not gonna know. But
the oversell.
But people was like, hell no. Like, I got cobwebs in my pocket, dog, and I've been waiting for a little bit. It's been a year now, son. I ain't had no job in 18 months, son.
Yeah, he said he don't care though, so he's still opposing this temporary 10% global tariff. Donnie's a trip,
doing what's in the power.
Donnie is a trip. He said this.
Look at his face. Look at his face. Do that face look like he gonna stop doing what the hell he want to do?
He said it's a temporary 10% global tariff following the decision.
He gonna do what he can do.
Countries.
He gonna do whatever he can do
immediately. Effective immediately is crazy.
I'm gonna have y'all all playing ball in Pelican Bay when I'm done. That's what he was saying.
So the law is that in Section 122 of the Trade Act 1974, president can impose tariffs up to 15% to address a large and serious balance of payment deficits to remain in effect no more than 150 days unless Congress passes legislation extending them.
Right.
So he said, bet.
They were looking at him basically doing a level of overreach. I mean, a lot of what he's been rolling with, they just been shotgunning shit. You know what I'm saying? And let the law catch up. That's pretty much how it's been. Yeah. Shoot, they even described it as what they would be doing. They said they don't go in, they're gonna blitz. And so it's essentially let the slowness of the government and all the bureaucracy catch up. By that time, they got at least in some of what they gonna do. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it because, again, from a process perspective, that seems haphazard. That doesn't seem like it. It's just a lot of fallout that comes from that. But I do believe this is a learning lesson. This is a learning lesson from all of us, people who voted for him, people who didn't vote for him, and to really look at what people say they're going to do and actually look at plans before you sign up all the way. Because I'm pretty sure at a lot of all of these different activities, people said, I voted for him, but I didn't vote for that. That's right. Been like a lot of people's damn mantras when it comes to this. I voted for him, but I didn't vote for that. Well, shit, you vote for all of it then. Like if you're not going to look deeply into the policy, And that's the whole point of a representative democracy. We talked about that last week. If people no longer,
I gotta drop that.
yeah. So yeah, Joe, he's right on there. Yeah, took the government 13 months to catch up with that shit, and so either fortunately, depending on what side you on, or unfortunately, you're gonna see the fallout from the policies that did not take hold, like people on both sides thought it was going to be. So now people are going to be looking for the change. The Supreme Court looking for a change. Like, hey, you can't do that shit. And he's like, but I can do that shit. 10%
and I'm doing it.
All you bitches.
I'm doing it. Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna do what I can do. And it's two different forms of argument. But you don't want to take chemo too much, because you're gonna end up killing all of the cells instead of the ones that you're actually targeting. And so I think that's really what's happening. It's more of a brute approach than a scalpel, which we have the time, we have the technology, and we should have the people in place with policy to be surgical more than this. Now
So-
leave it at that.
Joe had shouted out to look up at what Justice Kavanaugh had said. So I pulled that up. Shout out to Joe.
Okay.
So he said that it says on Yahoo News that he offered a roadmap of alternatives for Trump to attempt to carry out his signature economic policy. He says if quotas and embargoes are a means to regulate importation, how are tariffs not a means to regulate importation? Nothing in the text supports such a illogical distinction. So what does this mean? He's saying that if you are having quotas, you're moving things, right? And you have regulations and expectations to do imports, then how are tariffs not a way of almost like a level of compliance to do tariffs in order to import as well? So he's saying like we're not being fair in opportunity to use regulation is basically what he's saying. And under this, it says that where is it at? So yeah, that's really what he was saying. Tariffs are not just in the same category as those, but are far more modest alternative to them. So Kavanaugh is saying, listen, at the end of the day, if we basically, I don't want to say a tax, if we regulate other things, we have the right to regulate using tariffs as a mechanism to regulate. And he's saying like for us to tell someone what mechanism we use to regulate is, he didn't say unfair, but it's illogical. He's saying that it's just how are you going to say you can use one mechanism and not the other? Like make that make sense to him.
What I'm saying is that we don't have the muscle anymore, or the muscle memory to handle any of this shit. And by what I mean by that is, okay, we import the things that we don't make anymore, right? And so that costs more because we've imported to stave off our reliance on other countries. We're paying for that. On the other hand, say for instance, okay, well that leads us to be able to do things domestically. So for the prices that we would do things domestically, they're going to import then people from H-1Bs in order to supplant and have the profitability in order to make things domestically. So you're basically on both sides of this coin, and I don't think either one is good right now, because the infrastructure, again, the muscle memory is not in place. The only thing that would get everybody in gear and all that kind of stuff, and I don't even think that will work, and I would say it would be a war, because then you got the Rosie the Riveter thing that came into play, where everybody band together and made tanks instead of all that. But that's not where we're at anymore. We're just not there anymore.
You pointed out making things being interesting. So I know I'm slightly going a little bit out of order, but let's talk about what it looks like when making things gets cheap.
So there's the metal, and there's the ribbon,
Here's the piece that is supposed to go in the ribbon to hold it in the metal. And yeah, it came apart.
Some
came
Olympians
from
were
Temu.
celebrating their
Hey.
wins with broken medals.
It's real.
Oh, I broke it. After winning Team USA.
That's crazy. Yeah, yo, bam.
I thought that shit was supposed to be made out of solid gold or whatever.
Right. I thought it was the best of metals.
Well, we're talking
Damn.
about manufacturing, right? And quality, you are a quality person, right?
Yeah.
Quality itself, as you were just talking about. I skipped that order because this actually refers back to what you were talking about. So let's keep looking at quality and what maybe the future of what quality
This
looks
is
like.
disheartening though.
Like
people
first
all their
medal.
life for one of them damn medals, and this is supposed to be lasting generations and shit. This Jesse Owens. This is my great
It ain't
granddaddy.
lasting beyond the plane ride.
You train 8 years to be 1 second better than everybody to get a broken damn medal.
Yeah. And you
In
did this in
perspective,
the
that's
snow.
insane.
And in the snow. This is
That's
the Winter
insane.
Olympics. Ugh.
You bled, you hurt, you fractured, you went through all types of trials and tribulations to get a damn broken medal.
That's sad as shit, man.
Games in downhill skiing, Breezy Johnson showcased her medal, which had separated from its ribbon.
Do not jump in them.
It broke. Said don't jump with it.
Meanwhile, Germany's ski team were jumping in celebration when one member's medal slipped off its ribbon. And figure skater Alyssa Liu said her gold medal doesn't even need a ribbon. These medals are the most expensive in Olympic history, thanks to the price of gold and silver skyrocketing. Chief Games Operations Officer Andrea Francisci says they're looking into the problem.
Siamo a conoscenza della situazione, abbiamo
Looking
visto
into the problem.
le immagini, ovviamente stiamo cercando di...
He said looking into the problem to understand what the problem is what they're saying.
Yeah, they got delivered that day.
From Temu?
Yeah, nobody inspected it. Somebody had Prime. Let me hurry up the order.
più importante, quindi ci stiamo...
So there's
It's
the
supposed to be
medal.
the most expensive, huh?
There's the ribbon.
I wonder
Here's
what
the little
company what shell company got hold of that contract.
Somebody
piece that her name up there.
Nah, it's lead in the middle of that shit too, because I know they not solid gold.
Nah,
I know that. Like, not with a ribbon breaking like that. That's terrible.
Drop some drip in the comments. Y'all think that that's real? What y'all think on the quality side of things? Do y'all think, Joe said that this happened during the Summer Olympics too. Boy. Ooh-wee.
So don't sweat in it either.
When we start talking
Don't turn
about
green. Ain't that what they used to say when you used to buy that fake gold chain?
Yeah,
don't,
man.
Don't
hoop
be
in it.
sweating that. Your whole
Don't
neck
sweat
gonna
in
turn
that.
green.
Don't hoop in it.
Nope.
Oh my God.
my concern with this is this, right? We just talked, I'm gonna bring this back to the tech for a second. These companies say, AI is gonna help. The robots are gonna do their thing. What does quality look like on that though? Because if a robot, let's say it is a robot that's doing this, you gave the robot the pieces, it's gonna pack. If the weight is the whatever weight you told it to do, it's gonna execute what you gave it. Now, if you didn't fire all the quality people, right, that check to make sure that you got somebody running and jumping in it, you know what I mean? You got somebody doing weird stuff that whoever's a human would do. You didn't cut that. That team gone. You didn't recoup them shares. They done. You know what I'm saying? Now you're like, those are the human components of things that is a concern. When we start talking about quality, your toys for your kids. Little Lily got 3 legs. Well, no kidding. She got 6 fingers. Well, AI don't really do well with hands, so I'm not too surprised. It'd be like, was it?
Looking all with the claws.
Penguin.
Right.
Yeah, penguin.
Your kid like, Mommy, my toy got mittens. No, baby, that's supposed to be hands. What's going on?
Looking like
quality.
Lego.
Quality and care has lost the culture of what used to be synonymous with U.S. The United States of America. Made in America used to mean something, but a lot of things aren't made in America anymore, and people have started to accept it. Getting scammed from Temu and all of these Alibabas and all of these other spaces. When the shit comes from the mail and you check it out, and all of a sudden your T-shirt extra thin, you like, damn, got me again. And people are tired of getting got. I think that's where we're at for some of this consumer confidence. People aren't going to pay for these bum ass chicken bowls from Chipotle. They're not going.
Got you coming after Chipotle.
Look, I'm being for real as a consumer. But fast food is taking a dive. All these places are taking a dive because the quality and the value is no longer there. I think that's where we meet supply and demand. Demand is down, people, and not for reasons that people are broke in a lot of cases. People are just valuing things differently, and our companies need to look at that.
Yeah. Home cooked meal is becoming top tier now. That's 5-star now because you go to a regular restaurant.
Perfect. This is perfect. Go ahead, keep going. This is gonna be perfect.
please, because I'm about to load up the segue on your ass.
Yeah, because we're gonna go ahead and get into
segue.
Yeah, speaking of segue, we're gonna talk about quality because nearly half of U.S. women ages 25 to 44 are projected to be single and child-free by 2030. This is the comment. We blew it, fellas. Half the women will have no children, be single by 2030. We need them, guys.
We need them?
Speak for yourself, Arkeen.
When we started talking about quality, that is his name. It was Arkeen
Asylum.
Yeah, Gibson. He sounds.
So it says experts say the shift is driven by greater economic independence, career focus, and challenging views on family life. Rather than rejecting marriage or motherhood, many women are prioritizing personal choice and fulfillment over traditional timelines. Is this a sign of progress or a challenge to long-held norms? Once again, we talked about quality and the value of something. From this, women are not valuing what the homes are. Look at the comments. Protect your womb. No ring, no baby, single. 37 free. Engineering and entrepreneur. Good for them.
Mm-hmm.
They've learned the lesson through their mothers and aunts. So this person said, I don't want to be a part of this. God, send me my family man.
You see, only person was this right there. She was like,
only one. Everybody else, look, I'm seeing the comments on here. Sneaky link, sleeping with the neighbor's husband.
But right here, told everyone to pick better, and women started choosing themselves. Men are literally going to have to step it up, or we are doomed.
Trash.
Quality. This goes back to that, and this right here.
2,000 likes on that comment, though. You see that? 24.
Yeah, hilarious. Hilarious.
Here we go.
That's all it is.
Yeah, it's just like this right here. I actually love this. Mind you, a lot of us are still open and have dreams of this. The caveat here is we're not about carelessly creating broken homes. Many of us, so she's going down this road of like, you know, not to say that we could still get it wrong because you could still do everything. Like this is going down that path of if I do these things, I'm sure, you know, if I do these things, what am I getting in return on that side? Like right here. And then there are some of us who just blatantly feel like a man and what comes with it is just not worth the peace. I know I skimmed through what she said, but it's important we start talking about quality, right? So we got a lot of stuff going on. We got economic issues. First of all, if you try to live by yourself, maybe they're the only ones who can't afford an apartment by themselves because baby, it's expensive. It's hard to live by yourself. That's because
they're cornering trips and everything else, and they're getting on yachts and selling feet pictures and dinner plates. And doing hair on the side.
That picture combined credit score is 560.
Go ahead, pull that picture back up so we can count what the credit score is right there.
Oh, sorry, I just took.
Oh no, you good? It was
not you go count up a credit score is crazy,
right? And plus, that Affirm just had an open ledger on their credit right then.
Hold on, I'm about
Better
to pull
pay
it
that
up
shit
right
off.
now.
Listen,
Klarna and Tahiti.
I don't know whose future wife is bent over in that picture.
Right.
Who?
Arkeem. He said he want one.
I need one of these.
Arkeem is at home right now with Pamela, staring at some
in
social media page.
Like $60. He read about that. They trying to be on Facebook Marketplace with that salty ass fish.
Wow.
These the ones arguing over the bill at the end of the night, talking about all I had was a daiquiri.
Wow.
Ain't nobody on that. We can sit here and pretend like, oh, the women is choosing themselves. No, that's not what's going on. The sneaky links is strapping up. That's what's going on. And everybody on Ozempic, so that morning after pill working now, baby. I said this on
let's see what she said.
Interesting trend happen. And I was also reading research on that by like 2030, a lot of women are going to be single and just not have kids. And I'm seeing this in conversations with my clients, with my friends. It's kind of this idea that women don't want relationships anymore. They're preferring to be single. And my theory is this has to do with the concept of the rising feminine. Anyone who follows astrology knows about this concept.
So she about to get into it. Y'all go
astrology
attack
shit though.
Kate Melendi.
Let's go.
Go attack Kate Melendi. Yeah. Okay.
About to talk about the moon and the Saturn rise.
I looked in the quasars and I saw that women's intuition is driving them to be more independent, said the chick that's sleeping with the next door neighbor's husband.
I think technology is very heavy to blame in this. Before she gets into this, you know
that dopamine hit where you got a lot of people with their junk in their hand hitting the thumbs up on your pictures, and you mistaking that for actual life.
Well, there's that, but there's also the level of access. So remember, like, let's think about it.
It's not access. They're not accessing you. They are not accessing you.
Think about your grandparents, right? Think about we'll go back to, we'll say, the boomers. Think about the boomers. American Bandstand would be something I believe they would have watched as kids. That's probably one of the first times they got to see other people interacting with other people who did not live in proximity, that they went to a place where they kicked it that was not in proximity. That blows the top on access. Like, whoa, wow, I can actually touch you. The internet, though, social media has taken that and blown it beyond that. Not just TV, where you see the basketball players, ooh, Magic Johnson gonna be at whatever it is, girl, I'm about to put my clothes on and give him some. It ain't even just that. Literally, you could have somebody who looks like Magic Johnson, you find him on the internet, and you can sleep with that guy. Like, it's that close, and you could just contact him.
Okay, yeah,
I think that matters.
You have relations with the Magic Johnson lookalike, and you get your ass flown right back home. And now you think that you have access to that person going forward. No, just dudes don't have the same standards as the delusion of women who think that they have access to the dudes that don't have the same standards.
Well, hold on. Back in the day,
hold on. This is really where the paradox is.
I only had the access to, if you only had access to the people who went to your high school.
This is having a weird conversation with a woman, because she will never see what the thing is that I'm actually expressing, because women refuse to understand the point of which they think that the value is on the thing that they have. That everybody's
you're just saying that it's just box. Like, I hear what you're saying. It's just box. Okay, good for you. You got the box, baby. Good for you. He gonna go get box from your friend. I get where you're going with that. What I'm saying is that I'm trying to get to why women think that and are validated that they don't have to stay in the neighborhood anymore. Like, back in the day, if you only had high school dudes, and everybody trying to smash the jock because he's the only best football player. But now I can smash somebody in another state who's also a good football player, or marry him, or whatever it is. I do not have to, quote, settle for little Jimmy, who's the best in this neighborhood, is all I'm getting at. That's all. Like, I hear what you're saying in this box, right? Like, I get you. I get what you're saying.
That makes sense.
From their perspective, this box is still better than this neighborhood piece.
Right. until they reach 35.
Not until they don't do that, Joe. But I hear you, Cash Pay. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that I still can get somebody who's not even just in this district that we play football against. I could go get
is a relative term. Is all that I'm
saying.
saying.
Access. I mean, look at Travis Hunter. I'm just saying, like, don't even give me started.
That ice cream is great until you got diabetes. Life is filled with choices, and a lot of times women choose wrong. I got so many options. I got so many options until them options stop knocking. Now the mailman done got killed because he consistent.
Mailman,
he delivered
plumber, FedEx driver.
All of a sudden, the yoga instructor is handsome.
Yeah. Look,
you got it. Now we went from not settling to I'm gonna get what I can. I get what I want to. I get what I can.
I was in the store a month ago. This old ass lady came up to me in one of them damn carts that got the wheels and shit. It was like, you know that you a handsome young man. I said, thank you, lady. And I went and got that damn milk. And I closed the damn door on her ass. Cause what hit me with the damn, what's that? Jaja Gabor, young man. Hell no.
Plain dang, get that alive suited.
Somebody gonna get that box.
I was in a jogging suited.
Don't matter. Somebody will get
I know.
that
I'm
box.
just
top and the bottom match. You know, I do my polo thing. But hell no.
Somebody's gonna
you
get
look
that
like
box.
one of them YNs. I wants me a YNs.
I can't stand you. You
I'm
know
just
what?
saying, it's cute. It's cute in your 20s. We love it. I used to love to come over and you get, we play Rock'em Sock'em Robot, and then you use your empowerment to leave early. Like I gave a damn. I used to love that shit. But guess what? Now I'm married. You still in the club.
And that's terrible. That is.
You still
here go Joe. She gonna need another wheelchair after I get done with it.
Oh my goodness!
Right.
Speaking of being in a wheelchair,
once you go black,
that's kind of where I was going with that.
Y'all missed the underlying situation there. She gonna be in another wheelchair, meaning she getting the hell away from me because I've did what I wanted to do. Now you're gone. Push along, motherfucker. That's what he's saying.
Oh my goodness!
Without even saying it.
Well, speaking of that, let's go ahead and do Cam Newton, y'all. Cam Newton has recently been canceled. I gotta find an actual video. He had a 100
BET show, right?
Yes, BET show. And I don't know if I'll be able to actually show the video because it might be. But long story.
I don't have to.
So Cam Newton, if you don't know who he is, he was a quarterback, very good quarterback until he wasn't, right? Got like 8 kids, something like that. Anyways, he had a new show, and he has 2 shows. He has a show, is it on ESPN by chance? And then
he appears on ESPN, but this show was on BET.
This was on BET, 106 in Sports, which is a playoff of 106 in Park. Okay. The program aimed to blend sports debate with broader conversations around Black culture, echoing the spirit of 106 in Park, right? It's supposed to be unscripted programming. Okay. Here's the issue here. This dude right here was asked, does he have platonic relationships with women? Drop some drip in the comments. Do y'all have platonic relationships with women?
Of course.
And he called them platonic. He didn't call them platonic.
Platonic. because that means I'm planning on cracking. If not, then
So what did
it
he
ain't
say? I think
happening.
he said. So Cam said, "Listen."
Well, he said he
not-
can't be platonic with a beautiful woman.
No, he said I cannot be platonic with
He
a
said
beautiful woman because I'm
beautiful.
going to stab them. I'm going to be stabbing that.
Yeah, you got 8 kids.
Yeah, he said I'm gonna be stabbing that. So I do business relationships, and like I love women, but I just don't have like I'm not just gonna call you like, hey girl, how you doing? Like we're not gonna chop it up. It's gonna be a business situation, you know, something like that. But it's not just straight up like I'm just gonna be on the phone with you. I'm not doing that. His co-hosts were 2 women, 2 Black women.
They're not co-hosts. They were not co-hosts.
I'm sorry. What would you call them?
They were just on the show. They were not co-hosts.
Ornamental.
Okay, the 2 chicks on the show, okay, they were flabbergasted and appalled that he would say that he can't have platonic relationships with women. Drop some drip in the comments. We want to know, if you're a man, do you have platonic relationships with women? If you're a woman, do you have platonic relationships with men? And more importantly, if you are married, do you I'm trying to say aloud. Are you upset?
You might as well say it like that shit.
Are you upset or do not approve, condone your husband or wife to have platonic relationships or / you don't do it yourself? Now hold on, let's go back to Cam. Cam said, I don't do that because I know myself. So I set that boundary and they were mad at him. They said that he doesn't have self-control. He need to go get that checked out. Something wrong with him because he needs to have platonic relationships with women. Now, if you're a man, now both of y'all can answer this in a second. Y'all let me know. Do you think that is true? Number 1. Number 2, do you have platonic relationships with women? And then number 3, do you think he was out of pocket or setting a boundary? Y'all go ahead. Y'all
I mean, the thing is, his life is out of pocket. So the fact that he can actually even
identify his life out of pocket.
Life out of pocket. How many kids he got? How many wives has he had? He has no real connection.
I don't think he's ever been married. He just got all.
I don't think he's ever been married.
He's got a bunch of damn kids. So anybody that got that, this is the thing, and this is just me personally, because I'm from the hood, not the rap hood, the hood. I judge people off of how many children they have. Always have, because that is the one thing you can control is where you plant your seed. You can control that. Now, if you don't, then you careless. If you careless with that, I can't even trust you with money, because you just a slave to your instincts at that point. If you have no self-control, it's not really much we can really discuss. People, and this used to be funny to me, and Cassius Bacon attest to this. I always thought it was hilarious.
Why you got
like,
put me in it? Go ahead, though. Yeah, I know.
You can attest to this because we used to laugh. People like, I'm shocked you ain't got more kids than. What do you mean you shocked? You can control what you run up in.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of shocked that you ain't got more kids too.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
The reason being is that I like you and your wife. Y'all are cool people. So, but I am also shocked. But that's okay.
Because we all make choices in this life.
Respectfully.
I hear you. But we all make choices in this life. It's like you can choose how you roll. You know, and there's certain things that happen, it just happen. But my thing is this: if you got your woman who you are devoted to and all that good stuff, and you guys got 4, 5, 6 kids, that's your business. You got 4 and 5 and 6 kids scattered amongst the cities with different women, bruh, I don't trust you. But if you got enough self-awareness to say, yo, I can't really rock with no woman like that. You know, I don't have I can't be platonic. I can be platonic. I can't do nothing but respect it. At least you're that self-aware. Better than lying, saying, of course I can have a platonic friend. We're mature adults. No, you're not.
You ain't doing nothing but lurking in the shadows.
That's it.
Waiting for the late night.
You 106 in Park waiting on something to spark. Quit playing. We know this. What? Now, I myself, I can have platonic female friends and have had platonic female friends because I've had a certain code that I've lived by when it comes to men and women. Motherfuckers always have. To me, it was the biggest. To me, one of the biggest stunts as a young man is to come through with something beautiful that I ain't hit, nobody else could. Who is that? Oh, that's just a homie. What? And other girls looking like, what? Yeah, she looked better than you, and I ain't even interested in her. So what that tells you about me and you at this point? That was just me.
Gay.
So imagine what I'm. So imagine no, but at the same time, if I'm not hitting that, imagine what I am hitting when you know me. Imagine what I am hitting. If you find this drop dead gorgeous, oh my God, it ain't that I probably couldn't have. It's just that we met, we talked shop, we got cool. There's something I saw there that I'm like, you know what? One of y'all want her? That's just the homie. I ain't tripping.
So so you think, so let me make sure I get this. So number one, you're saying yes, you got platonic relationships with women. You're saying number two, you do think he's having a boundary, then I'm assuming you're saying that's good. He has boundaries.
He knows that he knows himself enough to say that, which I like that better than what I've seen other guys who I know probably have even more kids than him have said.
You also have to keep in mind that he's been essentially a celebrity his whole early adult life and beyond. His whole center has to be different because he can't have anybody around him anyway. That he can't just go around doing some random stuff. That's too risky. Anybody that's gonna be around him is gonna be somebody that he allows and that will be looking like something in order to be around him anyway.
Stuff too. He talked about that too. He was like, yeah, I got platonic relations with people I'm about to work out with, like my homies, like my teammates. Like we get to it. Like this is what I just showed you right there, y'all. That's a platonic relationship. We go in there, we hitting these kettlebells, my G. That's a platonic.
But the thing is, he ain't talking about no new friends. It's people who've been true friends.
Battle tested. Yeah.
So he's like, I don't deal with nobody new, and a lot of people don't. To be honest, they got the friends that they might have had earlier.
We gonna get to you in a second. Cash is paid. We gonna get to you in a second. We got the questions for you next. Plain Dane. The last question was: you're married, so do you allow, aka y'all agree to having platonic relations with opposite sex, or y'all just don't do that? Like some people just don't do that anyway.
Yeah, why would I agree to something that dumb?
What you mean?
I know what I can do, but even my friends overly, like even my female friends, even that's been cut down through the years because in true fashion, friends fade out. That ain't 100. You know what I mean? But I'm a little long in the tooth. Who the hell is Kevin? Where he come from? At this stage, if you wasn't with us in the gym shooting around, you can't come play with us in the Super Bowl, baby. It don't work that way.
He said, "Where did Kevin come?" That's valid. So I'm just saying, now y'all work.
Like every female,
he's your homie.
Every female friend that I have, they all are in some sort of industry. For one, they all do well for themselves, right? You know, I mean, they doing hair. They done did her hair. They done did her family's hair. You know, my wife has her business. They do business. Everybody is cool with everybody. So it's not like a weird situation where it's just me in the corner with the homie. There's none of that. That's basically a sister at this point because you've been around that long, Jim Jones.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So that's just how it is. So Drake said it best, no new friends.
Okay. Cash is pay. Do you have platonic female friends? Do you believe it? At least believe in people having it. You ain't gotta say you do or not.
I mean, the thing is that as you probably start out with platonic friends, and then you come to understand that you either somebody's emotional pillow, they junk in the glass type of scenario. If you're gonna be they simp and you don't even know it yet. You they meal and you don't know it yet, those kind of things, and then that kind of fades away. And sometimes you do have true female friends that you think, and then they end up getting with a dude, and then all of a sudden you can't be around no more because they choose. And that'd be a whole bunch of it right there. And so they make the choice for you.
Hence why they fade out.
Exactly. So
because men don't trust men. That's just the name of the game.
Well, because they know that at some point they're gonna make her upset, and you always been her emotional fallback. And whether you was the dude or not, I done seen this a couple times. You know what I'm saying? They right there to pick up that ass as soon as it drops on the ground.
Oh my goodness!
But it's the projection part of it too, because
I can say lift up that ass.
Oh my goodness!
You can just tell by the way that she walked. He done got in that ass. Got in that ass. You could just tell by the way that she walked. He done got in that ass. But anyways, bottom line is it's a lot of projection with that too, because most men know how they are. So automatically you a scumbag by association.
By default.
I'm a man. I'm a man. So I know how men think. And now I've lost kind of how many female friends have. What's funny is that the first thing they say, well, is he gay? Is he gay?
Right.
He got to be gay. He wear all that polo. Gay people wear clothes. Like all of that to make themselves feel better. And then once you tell them how much I make, it just go laugh. It's bad. But that's back in the day, plain dang. Plain dang today, it's a secret contract already signed, sealed, and delivered. If you around me, you family at this point. You ain't the friend. You the sister. You know what I mean? Like I can't have nobody. The circle is a dot at this point. So it's different. Young plain, like keep in mind, my wife was my friend for years. That's why she's here. Because she knows who I am, who I was, and she saw the growth. And, it was always an attraction there, of course. But we never pretended like it wasn't. It wasn't one of those things where she had the boyfriend and I was coaching her through it. Oh, you need to give him a chance. It was none of that going on. You know what I mean? But we was always really, really cool and close and closer than most. You know what I mean? But, yeah, at this point in time, no, there ain't no new Davids and Craigs and we don't do the work, hubby. I don't do none of that old shit. We ain't doing none of that. It's just
like first of all, like if we gonna go into like the side piece situation, dudes will stay in the background and be a side piece forever. They will let that roll because I want to have the buns and fun. I'm not even trying to be.
Women don't cheat better.
Men
stay quiet longer. That's
there you
the name
go.
of the game. Women don't cheat. As they say, women know how to cheat. No, they don't. Men know how to keep their damn mouth shut. He at that barbecue that the girlfriend threw because the girlfriend already know that he want to be there and they know the dynamic and he the girlfriend's friend, but really smashing you. But your dude don't know. And he's sitting there the whole time sipping that drink like, I know what that tastes like. He's saying this to himself. He ain't saying it to nobody in particular. That's that kind of situation. So
okay, so y'all are saying
that's the pain in the glass situation.
Okay, so y'all are saying that
maybe.
Okay, so y'all are saying that Cam's not out of pocket. That Cam is actually being considered. So do y'all agree that? Drop some drip in the comments. Ooh, okay, Joe. Drop some drip in the comments. Do y'all think that Cam Newton's show was canceled prematurely? Do you think that like justice for Cam Newton? But that's the only reason he got canceled.
Trying to do sports on BET. That's like trying to do sports on VH1.
Yeah,
it wasn't gonna work no way.
No, and deeper than that, 106 in Park need to 106 and Stop. They need to. It was doomed from the start with the titles. You can't keep trying to repackage that show. It was.
You can't make that happen.
Wow.
Stop trying. And on top of that, Cam already got a successful show that go viral damn near every week because of something he says, and it wasn't said on that show.
He got two channels. He got one where he talk about sports, and the other one where he talk about other shit and have people on the interviews tip. So I know he get into the bag way more than that, and he be on ESPN. He ain't studying that show.
Yeah.
He probably walked off first. Oh, y'all like how I said that? All right, we done.
They made the mistake. They made the mistake because he was supposed to shut that other stuff down even before he got on there so he could focus his attention on there. That's where they effed up at.
That don't make me no money. I ain't doing that. And
you get what I'm saying?
All right.
You get what I'm saying? Like they were like, well, if we do, because he basically doing the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Why would I go watch it there when I can go over here and watch it? With no
anytime I want. There you go. Yeah.
It was
Speaking of football,
Speaking of goofballs, or you say football?
No, football. Let's end with that's the drip with something I want y'all to drip on. Let me know. Do y'all agree or disagree with this sentiment right here? Might be deep for some, it might not be for some others. So let's listen real quick.
I always say everything got a price. Because people say, like, I love my dog. I get $100. No, I get $1,000. No, I get $100,000. Hey, you can have him.
All right, because I gotta make sure I chop this up because it's got music in it. He just said everything has a price. So drop some drip in the comments. Do you believe that everything has a price? The example he just gave was that if I go up enough, you'll give me whatever I want. Drop some drip in the comments.
Like, my thought is everything has a price. There is not a number that can get you back in that ring. 80 million, 100 million.
Nah, because now you selling your soul.
Boom.
Okay. Now look at homie face. I can't remember. He's a football player too. I can't remember what his name is. But drop some drip in the comments. Do you believe that everything has a price? Or do you believe that at some point you're selling your soul?
$100 million, you can have my soul.
Damn.
Y'all heard that, right? Wow.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting you to say that. You ready?
He said it straight up. Go ahead.
Straight up.
They gonna test him too. They gonna hand him the money. Give me the money.
That's you.
Yep.
Now we know your character.
Now, once you look at his face after he said it, he said, now we know your character.
What he gonna do? He
Sometimes,
gonna fight
you know,
him? He can't whoop his ass.
You look at people and you be like, dang, man, you ain't got no dignity. You ain't got no morals. Like, come on, man.
Did you hear what he just said?
Yeah.
I cook him right in front of him, though. Like, you right, though. It ain't like he gonna fight him. But
Blood a millionaire.
Eh.
Like, what you gonna stand for if everything is about money? Like, I never was in a sport because of money, you know? Of course, I was in a sport to make money.
Okay, so he's talking about why he believes in selling your soul and giving you reasons why, like, yes, I'm gonna make this money, but why did I make this money?
But I wanted to be a world champion. You know, I wanted to do something that I set my sights out to do as a little boy.
So that's his motivation right there. It wasn't about the money, but obviously I'm gonna take the money to do what I'm doing because it's essentially a service. To watch somebody perform, entertainment is a service. It is still technically a part of the service industry. If you watch a boxing match, you go to a sports event, all that's still a level of entertainment, but it's still up under someone providing you a service. And the service is entertaining you.
And money wasn't the motivation. Me being a world champion was the motivation. Me accomplishing all the things that I've accomplished along the way on my journey.
So he's getting into, you know, his true passion of where he's going with this.
You know, it was extra credit.
Extra credit.
It was extra credit because it's coming from the hood. It was like, man, I just want to be a world champion because that's just my dream. So when I became a world champion, it was just like, man, all this other stuff is like a cherry on the top. Like, you know what I mean? I did what I set my sights out to do.
I always say everything got.
So drop some drip in the comments. Y'all find that motivational? Y'all call cap that everything has a price? What y'all think? Y'all go ahead. This is the drip and we gonna end out on.
Well, everything has a price when you talking to whomever's for sale. And that's just what it boiled down to. And on top of that, it's a matter of what you willing to put a price on. I mean, if your dignity and where we come from, all you have is your name, right? All you have is your name. Your name has to carry a certain kind of weight, and especially if your name going rooms before you get there. So Bud is of that ilk. You could tell he was raised a certain kind of way. He fights with conviction. So normally, you know, you knew that would be his stance on certain things, right? Meanwhile, you sitting there with a bunch of ball players that probably went broke 2 years outside of their sport, and they said, let's get together and get to talking so we can try to run a bag up. So naturally, the value system with them is going to be a little different. Notice how there's a lot of quiet people in that room is because they agree with what Homeboy was saying. Not so much what Bud was saying. Yeah, I'm more than certain they all agree with him. But Bud was like, nope. Dude looking like, I'm selling my dog. I might sell this butt too. The way he was looking.
Ooh-wee.
Like,
oh but my goodness.
But that same guy,
not you saying selling his butt is crazy.
All right, now damn.
Yeah.
How he gonna get pregnant? What's up with this picture that you put up?
I don't know.
Yes, I want to make sure we don't get in trouble. We don't get in trouble because it's not even possible.
I ain't choose that, but that's the same guy that go to nudist beaches with his wife and all of that. So is that
facts?
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, facts. You have to go back and watch their show. The whole thing is his moral compass is slightly different than most people. So naturally, everything has a price. That's his thought process. Meanwhile, Bud is more quiet and reserved and a whoop on you because he's more of a person of conviction. He's grounded in religion, all of that. He comes from great stock within his family. So that's not the guy that's going to sell his soul. You know what I mean? He's just not that guy. Now you put Ray J and a bunch of other people in that room, it might be a different kind of conversation happening.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say what I was thinking, but yeah, I agree with you. I was gonna make a joke about his song. I hit it first, but we gonna just leave it.
I seen something where he was put some fake blood in his eyes and was
what?
Yeah,
he on some other stuff. But getting back to this, what he described was being in something but not of something. So being in it but not of it, to rise above it. I'm in it because I want to be here, but I'm not like none of you cats. I'm not like none of y'all. I'm here because I have a different purpose in what I'm trying to do here. And so when I look in a man's heart and I'm in the ring across from him, I already know what he is. And I know that's what I'm beating. I'm not beating anybody for the money or for the bag. I'm beating everybody because that's what I'm here to do. That's the goal that I set to accomplish. So that's how you can be in it first and not be of it, because now you letting everything get to your head. You letting the people showing you stuff, trinkets, money. Hey, we can do this. We can do that. We can. And so when you are staying focused on something, you can rise above it. That means that you've set out your goal and you can be done with it. You don't got to stay there and try to run it back one more again and all that kind of stuff. When it's done, it's done. Let it go and go and achieve something else. You don't got to try to be Tom Brady. You don't got to try to be none of that. And if you can do it till you do it, then do it till you do it. But just know when the season's over. And go and live your life. With your accomplishments, he got a family. He got more than enough money, more than enough land, I am sure, to go and do everything that he want to do and need to do in order to raise those kids effectively. Okay. And he got the accomplishments on what he done did. And can't nobody whoop his ass.
Nah, ain't nobody about to
go about your business.
No dumb money spent, all saved. No big cars. That dude had a tractor on his land. They showed him in documentaries training and going home to his family. No Rolls Royces, nothing crazy. No jury, none of that. None of the gaudy stuff. That man is a man of conviction. So for him to even present that conversation to him in that way was hilarious. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what he was expecting to get. He probably knew he was going to get a viral moment out of it.
Well, he should have just asked the question and then shut the hell up, because
maybe he just assumed that he was on what he on.
No, he wasn't.
Nah,
he didn't do that.
He knew.
He wanted to ask.
He knew Bud. Everybody sitting there knew what kind of man Bud was. It's a reason. First of all, look at what the money he turned down when they tried to play with him. Look at how fast he was like, I ain't paying for this. I won this. I'm not paying for a belt. Take it. You could take the belt.
Don't matter because I whooped ass already. Everybody saw it.
That's it. So Everyone knew his character sitting there. And I'm like, dude was going for a viral moment. He knew he got out of it what he was looking for because he wants 100,000. Just look at it that way.
That's crazy. So my take on that is I agree with him. It's not worth my soul. There gets to a point where you take pieces, you don't take the money with you. And also, my thing is this. I live by the mantra of, based on how I live my life, my decisions I make, when I look in the mirror, can I live with the person that I'm looking at? And I think that's huge, because if you're selling your soul, essentially, or if there's a dollar amount, it's okay. I mean, I guess if you feel like you can look at it and be like, girl, we done made 100 million, you know, then you're okay with who you see in the mirror. But for me, the money can't be that. Legacy for me would have to be that. I don't want when, you know, someday when I'm no longer here, everybody's around, you know, talking about me and being like, man, she sure was a piece of
but she ran up the bitches, she ran up that money.
But that bitch had $1 billion.
She ran up the money.
Yeah, and then guess what? And all y'all can fight over probate type of time. Them be the people. Quick story. Boom. Long time ago, I used to work at a bank. And this is gonna be real peep game for y'all, because this is gonna help you with your accounts. A long time ago, one of my first jobs was working at a bank. And this couple came in and they had together over 100K in just savings at this bank. It was a man and woman, they were husband and wife. And usually when people come in with that kind of money, they have like at least like a payable on death, like something. And I said, you want this to be payable on death? No, I've done opening accounts, closing accounts, stuff like that. They said, nah, they can fight over in probate. And they fucking laughed, y'all. They laughed. Had a ha-ha kiki moment. And I was just taken back. They said, because we don't care, they can fight over in probate. And I'm thinking to myself, like, that's crazy. Either A, you feel like nobody has cared enough for you that you would rather just let the state take it. Or B, as a person, you don't care about whatever legacy that you're leaving. You like, who are you doing this for at that point? Anyways, if you are opening accounts, I no longer work in banking, so I can say this, but you can make payable on death accounts instead of just opening a normal personal account. You can say, I want it payable on death. You can give the name, the birthday to said person. Could be a kid, could be an adult, could be whoever. And if you were to pass away, they come in with the death certificate and then they give them the money. Message. So anyways, y'all, that's the drip I got for you. Yeah, without having to go through probate. Ain't no probate. I came in, listen, they passed away the other day. Here's the death certificate. I'm Johnny Tim's birthday XXXXXYZ. That's me. Cha-ching. Thank you so much. Mwah, mwah. That's how that works. So if you're ever wondering, you want to do that, payable on death, y'all. Payable on death.
Yeah, it's nothing but an administrative thing. It's not that bad.
I don't know how that works with a will. But anyways, y'all, that's all we got today for y'all. Just wanted to drop a little drip for y'all. I have now moved over to alcohol, so I apologize to y'all. But appreciate you. See y'all on Friday. Thank y'all for late night dripping with us. And make sure you go to the community tab. Hit that like button if you haven't yet. And then subscribe. Subscribe. Tell 2 people you like and someone you don't. Appreciate you. Cassius Pay for, queuing up stuff for us and being there as a producer. And Plain Dame, shout out to you, my brother. Thank you for hanging out with us. Very much appreciate everything. So
always a good time. Always a good time with my family. You know what I mean? I look at y'all as family. Joe, that's my cousin over there. You know what I mean? We all family here. We all family here, man. We here every Friday.
We about to have to make him cam up in a minute.
You're going to have to cam up in a second, Joe on the low is the 4th host. Y'all don't even understand. He's very consistent. My dog, very consistent. And a lot of my people who, all of my social but slightly antisocial folks that hit me in the DMs.
This is Joe right here. Joe in the background like that.
Right. For real. AI, all in it. All in it. No, but shout out to my people that they're not as conversational and jumping into the chats, but they do DM outside of here. They do tell us how much they appreciate what we're doing. We appreciate you all for tuning in, but for those who hang with us, you guys can't see what we see, but the numbers of people go up and down, up and down, up and down, and we love it. We love the interaction. We love it. You got the numbers has been growing. The show is constantly evolving, and so is our audience. So we just thank you all for tuning in every Friday. You guys are family, whether you know it or not. Hey, cousins.
And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We got new subscribers today, so shout out to y'all for bringing up our subscribers. We very much appreciate y'all. We have more things coming in 2026, but in the meantime, like I said, tell 2 people you like and someone you don't. We will see y'all again next Friday, and we might even do a pop-up surprise show. We'll see.
She saw. So that's why she over here. I'm gonna go back on. Okay.
We'll see y'all. We'll see y'all Friday night. Appreciate y'all. We out of here. Bye, y'all.
Peace.
Oh, and we got some new music too. Oh, that's your. I thought you had a thing.
I'm looking for it. I'm trying to find it. Drop some drip how y'all want me to post to get up out of here, because I don't know. Maybe.
City lights, close shadows dance. Jim and Dame got the vibe, got the stance. Cash is paid, bring the bass, make it last. Drip, drop, drip, drop, smooth as glass. Late night, whispers in the air. Feel the rhythm already there. Drip, drop, our daily flow. Drip, drip, Gem and Dame, you already know. Drip, drop, watch the city glow. One more time, let's take it slow. Skyline kisses the moonlit tide.